Have you ever been in a relationship that turned sour? One that redefined your person? One that led to unpleasant, harsh, or bitter experiences? But you need to know that not all sad experiences lead to horrible ends. And of course, most of the well-to-do in the society today have had such ugly and terrible experiences. And yet, they came out quite strong, better, stronger, rejuvenated, having learned the lesson during the refusing to be weighed down by it. Therefore, it all depends on how you handle your relationship situations. Now, in relationship saga, such awful experiences are going to be shared here on radio. Such painful stories are told so that others can learn from it. And of course, not just about other learning from it, it's going to be more of real life experiences. So this is why you cannot miss Relationship Saga any day right here on radio. So join me every Saturday, 8 to 9 p.m. here on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja for that juice 1 hour package that you will never ever forget, and of course that will change your life for the better. Now on Relationship Saga, we are going to be talking about real life experiences. All right, Relationship Saga is going to deal with those issues that emanated from relationships, real life stories on relationships, stories concerning relations, marriage, courtship, divorce, family disputes, conflicts, single motherhood, single fatherhood, and of course we also come out with situation, some lay down experts on how to tackle and how to manage and resolve such relationship conflicts here on radio. All right, so stay right here with me, Holy Ray. I will be your host on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja for that invigorated and energizing weekend and program, Relationship Saga. And of course, I bet you at the end, you will be so excited that you were part of this show. Keep it locked in right here with me on Eagles 102.3 FM. Let me go on a quick music break, and when I come back, we will keep up the conversation. But today on the show, we will first open this introduction with my own story. I've got a lot of real life story that you wouldn't want to miss out on it, all right? So my story as a teenage mother, that is what we will be talking about today on the show. So don't go nowhere and don't touch that dial. I'll be right back. Keep it locked in right here. And of course, you want to catch up on the episode, rush to our social media handles on YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja. And of course, me on TikTok at relationship_saga. I am streaming live right there. So rush there right now and be part of the conversation. I will be right back. All right, welcome back, and this is Relationship Saga on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. My name is Holy Ray. Holy Ray is still in the building, and of course, right about now is a segment for Relationship Saga. And of course, like I said before I went on that quick break, Relationship Saga, it is that show that will be dealing with real life stories. And of course, we're going to be dealing with a lot surrounding relationships of any kind, talking about courtship, marriage, divorce, single parenting, family disputes. And of course, we're not just going to share these life stories, but we'll also come up with a means of how to tackle and solve this relationship conflicts of any kind, of course. And right about now, today, it's that time for you to hear my own side of the story. My own side of the story as a teenage mother. All right, and a lot of persons don't know that, irrespective of different faces, cultures, uh, places of work, we all have stuffs that we carry in our hearts. We have a lot in ourselves, in our hearts. We feel sometimes so sad inside, but because you are just a strong person, so you just want to try and keep up the pace and keep the smiling face and make people feel like, oh, everything is okay with you. But you know that everything is definitely not okay. All right, so today I will be starting with my own story. All right, but what I will do basically, I will talk about my story for the first 30 minutes or so, and then I'll get to open the phone lines so that you will tell me. Number one, I want us to pick out three things from my story. My story is quite long, but I'm just going to start with the one I can start with, all right? And then as the program unfolds, or I'll bring you more and more that you need to know about my real life story. And of course, and then you too in the future can participate and tell us your real life story. Now, the reason for this real life story is so that somebody can learn from your mistakes. It's so that somebody can, retrace their steps, retrace their life, recaution themselves, and take a step that will go towards the dimension of making them a better person. It's not just about me, but there are a lot of persons out there that make mistakes. As far as relationship is concerned, all right, you live every day, you coexist with people. So there is need for you to always either make mistakes or do the right thing. But my own story will start like this. Holy Ray, which is Rachel Aben, was a very vibrant, intelligent, and very beautiful girl growing up. And I was one of those people that every teacher in school will want to see in the classroom once they come in. Because I was so intelligent that whatever you're teaching, I must want to know anyone I don't understand. I must make sure I have you to retreat so that I can understand what exactly you're talking about. That is how smart I was. Then I grew up in this family that are so disciplined, especially my mom, especially my mother. My dad, the discipline comes once in a while, but my mom is just all the time, all the time. And it got to a point where everything she lays her hands on, she uses it on you. At some point, I thought this woman cannot be my mother. She can't possibly be my mother. And we come from this family that they are just modest. And she keeps saying, no matter what you do, you're not going anywhere. It is right here with me and you. So my mommy's elder sister came along and said she needed someone to assist her in her house. She lives in town. And because I was already tired of how I was constantly being reprimanded, I was quite stubborn, actually. I was quite stubborn. Let me not forget that. I was so stubborn that if I am asked to wash dishes, I will leave it right there and go for my football or basketball. Then thinking in my own small brain, I'll just be thinking, okay, let me just go and play basketball. Then when I come back, I will come and wash the dishes. By then, probably my mom is not back. But I forget that I have a very smart mother. I was so stubborn, that stubborn. Continuation of the story, and then I followed my mom's sister. Not knowing that I was complaining of my mom being too disciplined. I was leaving and going to another most disciplined person. I got there. It was terrible. Really terrible. In primary school, I am always the last person to go to school. Sometimes I get to school, they might have done like 1 or 2 texts. Sometimes it's even exams. Sometimes PTA of 5 naira, I don't get to pay until I am being reprimanded publicly, I beg your pardon, at the assembly ground before they will give me 5 naira. Now, her exact words before giving me that 5 naira is, money does not, they don't, in short, let me use her exact words, is they need to pluck money for tree. They don't pluck money on the trees. So you cannot come and tell me that you need 5 naira today, you want me to give it to you. No. You have to understand that money is very difficult to come by. And she has it. It's not that she doesn't have it. And me too, cleaning the house all the time. I get to see her money around. I just pick them and keep it safe and give it to her. I can never touch what is not mine. But she doesn't give me the 5 naira. And then I continued like that. And I was also a very, very good singer. So, moving forward, I now went to church where I sang pretty good. You can imagine someone that is in primary school, leading the children choir. So it was something that everybody always look out for me on Sundays to come and sing. So I sang pretty well. And then this young guy said, "Oh, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine." "What's your name?" I told him. "You're from where?" I told him. "Okay, I love the way you sing." "Okay, I am a student in high institution." I don't want to mention the name right now. And I am the student, whatever, president or whatever. And I also have a choir in school. I would love you to come and teach my choir how to sing choruses, especially all those worship songs, worships and praises and all of that. I said, okay, no problem. Now, that is how I was lured to go into this brother's house without telling my aunt where I was going. Then when I got there, the junction, he has asked me to wait for him. I got there at the same time because he has given me a written address in a paper. Then there was no phone, So I got to that junction and I waited a while. I didn't see him. About going back, then I saw him arrived. So when he arrived and he says, "Let's go," I said, "Okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir." Thinking I was going direct to the school premises where I have to teach the choir the song and how to lead choruses and worship and all of that. When I got there, I saw that he took a different road. And I said, "Where are you going? I thought we're supposed to go to the school. The school is this way. Why are you going that way?" He said, "No, he has to get to his house. He needs to change. He needs to do." I was like, "You should have done it because you told me we were going to go to school by this time and the choirs are already available for me to teach them how to do those things. And then I have to get back home because at this point, I had left without my aunt knowing. So I was now trying to be a smart girl so that I can go back before she finds out that I am not around." That was how I got there. Naive me. I did not know that no matter how a woman struggle, you can never struggle and win the strength of a man. When I got there, he began to make advances. I stood up and said, "Oh, I want to sit outside." He said, "No, you can't sit outside. You're my guest." I'm like, "I'm not your guest. Please, uncle, let's go." And uncle said, "No, come inside. Don't worry, feel free. Then they now gave me soft drink. I took the soft drink, I started chilling myself. After a while, that was how the urge increased. The struggle increased, and there was nothing I could do. And then something happened. Now, when something happened, I cried and I left. And I did not contact this young man again. Little did I know that you can meet a man once and something happens. Naive me, I was feeling like, okay, for something like pregnancy to happen, it means you should be married and then you can constantly be doing it. I didn't know that just doing it once can, bring a result. So that was what happened. And then I left. Few months after, exactly 4 months plus, my aunt looked at me and said, "Madam, you are pregnant." And I said, "No, I cannot be pregnant. But if I am, right, it means it is only one uncle that has touched me." Now, this story, I'm already in secondary school, all right? I'm already in secondary school. I said, okay. She said, "Who is the person?" I called the name. Now, she bundled me back to my mom. That kind of thing. She bundled me back to my mom. And when she took me back to my mom, I can remember how that day was. My mom was crying all through, especially when she asked me what happened. Before I could open my mouth to talk, all I get is beating. For those of you who are from this kind of family, you should understand what I'm talking about. The next thing is beating. She doesn't even want to hear the side of my story. And that hurts till today. Everybody, she embarrassed them. I had gone to stain the name of the family. Me, that I'm the sunlight, they were expecting me. I would be the one to do this. I would be the one to go to school and save the family from wanting. And I have come back with disgrace, embarrassment. Everybody was in tears. And she now asked me, I explained and I told her the guy. And then she took me to my son's father's compound. And the father said, okay, if you said my son touched you, then it's okay. But just make sure that you give me a boy, because I don't have much of the boys. I have just 2. And my mom came back. Now, that story did not just end there. Have to help me with the child. Even when family were saying, "No, you have gone to get pregnant. We sent you to school. You went to get pregnant. You have to go to the family of the pregnancy, blah, 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 blah." My mommy said no. My dad said no. But to fulfill all righteousness and what the family wanted, right? My mom allowed me to go there. I went through a whole lot, because at some point, even with the pregnancy, I have to follow them to the farm. I have to be the one to do a whole lot of tough house chores. Until my mom came one day to visit me, and she saw the whole thing, and then she took me back. That was when I began to see that real love. My parents were so there for me. Then they took the child after I put to bed. And I went back to school, wrap up my SSC, go admission, went back to higher institution, came back, I went to pick my son. We started living together. And since then, my parents have been very, very supportive. Long story cut short, and then after school, I was working. I served here in Abuja, and I was working. And then I also came by this young man who was lured to be close to us, me and my son now, through my son. And then I gave him attention. Now, I became very protective, all right, before I go to the aspect of where I got married and how it happened and how the marriage did not hold and all of that. I guess I'm just going to end it here for today. So The fact that I was violated quite young, it made me very, very protective, defensive. Even when I came to town, getting a job in various places, once I see that someone is trying to take advantage of the fact that I am a single mother and I really, really need this job, various places they will tell me, oh, okay, I see your CV, you're a single mother, you're so beautiful. Okay, if that's the case, let's just meet me up somewhere. I suffered the cases of meet me somewhere before you can get the job. And Rachel, being a very stubborn girl, I will not go there. As a matter of fact, as you're trying to act funny with me in your office or because I came for interview, I am placing you in your corner immediately. I became that defensive. I let nobody play with my body and everything that has to do with my emotions. But still, I've always been a victim of emotions. Wanting to get intimate just because I need one assistance or the other. Single motherhood without the support of a child's father, but only the support you get from your parents, especially your parents, can be very, very excruciating. I went through all of that, and then the child waiting about is actually in university, is wrapping up. But that is that about my story of being a single mother, part 1. I don't want to let all the cat out of the bag, all right? So I'm going to take it bit by bit. So from the few that I've shared with you, number 1, I was pretty stubborn and I left my mom to go stay with my aunt. Now, if I had not left my mom, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Maybe I wouldn't have had the freedom that I had to go visit. All right? And also, I was from this kind of compound that there is no man that can come to my compound. And my dad, being who he is, even our classmates are scared of entering my compound. If you like, come in line, okay, I want to come and collect pen. My parents, you will have to stay outside the gates. They will collect the book and come and give to you. So it was pretty tough for them too, because people were now saying, oh, now we you people that said you're the best, you're this, your children are died. See this one now. See what has happened. So now I will have to open the phone lines. But before I do that, let me go and catch my breath, because right now I'm feeling a bit emotional and it's not good for me, because I should be stronger by now, but you know how it is when you see a real life experience. The more you're talking about it, as you're explaining, you're feeling the whole thing is like a scar. So it's more like you're touching or tampering with a scar again for the second time. So it can still be that hurtful. It can be pretty hurt, you know, it can be painful, but that is not the problem. So let me go on a quick break, and when I come back, you will tell me what you have for me. And don't forget that this man I am talking about till today has never told me, oh, sorry for what I made you go through. Never. But I still play along and just be happy, because I have choose to move on and be happy. And also not forgetting that in continuation of the story, you will get to know that because of this child, my marriage couldn't stand because of the same child and because of the same man. Keep it locked in right here to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Holy Ray, story is a line today. Tomorrow, it might be yours. Don't go nowhere. Let me go on a quick break, catch my breath, and get my emotions back together. And then I will come back and open the phone lines. Keep it locked in. I'll be right back.
You are about to experience Eargasm. On the Eagles 102.3 FM. Eargasm. On the Eagles 102.3 FM. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
All right, welcome back and thank you so much for keeping it locked in right here with me on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. And this is Relationship Saga with Holy Ray. And of course, if you are just joining today on the show, we are talking about my own real life story as a teenage mother. And of course, I've explained how it happened, what I did and how I did it, and how it led to me being a single mother at a very early age, and of course the challenges I had faced over the years until today. I'm still pulling strong. So right about now, I'm going to open the phone lines. Number one, I want you to tell me how you feel after listening to my story, part one anyways. How do you feel? After listening to the story, how do you feel? Number two, I want you to tell me what you have learned. What did you learn from my story? Number three, I would like you to tell me how would you apply it on yourself going forward? Those things that you've learned from my story, how do you intend to apply that in your own life or in the life of your children going forward? And then the last thing, what would you say to me? Say the truth, nothing but the truth. 09073530044 or 09087668888. You can also send it to me on WhatsApp on 09097054450. How do you feel after listening to my story of being a teenage mother? And of course, if you're just joining, I've talked about how I left home, how I went to my aunt, and every other thing that happened, and how I am still facing the challenges till today. Hello.
Good evening. Hello. Good evening, Holy Ray.
Good evening. Good evening. How you doing?
Fine, ma.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Okay, thank you. My name is David.
Okay, David. David, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Upper Resettlement.
Okay, David from Upper Resettlement. Go ahead.
Yes. Holy Ray, your story is very touching. Now I was just scrolling through FM stations, and I heard your story. I was like, I wanted to listen. Wow, your story is very touching. Wow, thank God for giving you those type of friend that will stand by you. The parents will just abandon you. They will just tell you you're not my child again. So fathers will even disown you. But your parents just stood by you. They took care of the baby, they took care of the child. You went to school, you finished your education, you came back. Wow, you have a strong parent. And me, what I learned is that you should never follow it, that you should be taught at an early age about sex education. And they should be taught about sex education because maybe it can also because of your overprotection. You say that your dad doesn't allow your little child to come even inside your compound.
At all. They don't born you well.
See, because of this, if they talk about sex education, what sex can do, why you should not always be do not have intimate, how do they call themselves, intimate friends, like male intimate friends. That's if they told you about sex education, what sex can do, how sex can ruin your life. That should have given you more knowledge, more insight to follow that man to go and teach choir. Chai! But me, I blame you tomorrow because I will go follow my go teach choir.
All right, David. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, and thank you so much for joining me. What's your name?
Sorry, I can't. Hello, my name is Blessing. I'm calling from Kubwa.
All right, Blessing from Kuba. Talk to me.
Okay, I heard your story and actually felt so sad.
Okay.
Because I'm about going into university. So hearing your story has actually made me learn a lot of things. Like being mindful of who you're following and all.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
and
you,
your
Blessing.
parents were very supportful actually.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Blessing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being part of the show. 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, and thank you so much for joining me on the show. What's your name?
My name is Hassana from Zuba.
Okay, Hassana, thank you so much for joining me.
So your story was very touching. It's just similar to my own story.
Okay.
So mine was that I lost my father on the line, and he was the only support that I have from the family. But I thank God now I couldn't complete my education, but I was later married to a good man that take care of me and the son.
Oh, wow.
And after then I'm blessed with 4 kids again, and I'm doing business. I'm okay.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And I pray for you. God will give you your own man that will take care of you.
Amen.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you so much. Good night. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello. Right, you might just have to call me right back on 090-8766-8888. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, and thank you so much for calling on the show.
My name is Emmanuel, calling from Duce.
Okay, Manuel from Duce, let me hear you.
Your story was so much pathetic,
Thank you.
but the most important thing I learned, or the lessons I learned from the story, was
Okay.
that your parents were very much supportive. They were there for you, and I don't think they were overprotective, but there were some basic things they were supposed to teach you rather,
Yes.
as you were growing up, which they didn't teach you, and which makes you to become a victim.
Yeah, to be vulnerable.
Yeah, vulnerable. Yeah, thank you. Very vulnerable. So that is one. And one thing I want to let you know is you have to move on. Even as I'm telling you, you have to move on. The truth is, moving on sometimes is not as easy as we said it. Because as you are saying now, I'm like a victim also. But as I'm telling you right now, I don't believe there's love. I don't believe there's love. Because there was this young lady in my children level university I so much loved, and I was doing everything possible to make her happy, to please her. As I was schooling, I was farming for lecturers. They were giving me money. I was sending to her. Bought jump for her. Then she gained admission. Me, I graduated from the university. Then she gained admission. She changed. Everything about her changed. And when I was, the relationship was not, didn't go on as usual. It stopped as in everything ended. Because I couldn't believe I was crying for months. Not that, it was a marriage relationship, not a girlfriend. This in a marriage relationship. My parents were aware, my pastors were aware, our parents were aware. But my mom was like, I should let it go, that it is meant for me. That all these things have happened. I cried when I was serving as well. The same thing happened. I saw a lady after my service year. I was retained in my school, and then a couple came to serve in that school. I approached her, we agreed, we were all going, and after she finished her service, she brought many stories that she used to dream and see me drinking, flirting. Since I was born, I've never tasted some wine. Talk more of flirting and drinking. I'm not that kind of, because of my faith and belief. But when I called the younger brother, this is what your elder sister is doing, this. Then the younger brother told me, say, bro, I cannot lie to you. My sister told me that she doesn't know when I'm going to settle down financially.
Wow.
And meanwhile, at that time, I was already engaged in a business, but I need a bigger capital
Yes.
to
expand. To expand.
So, and before I could know, the girl left me. And immediately she left me, God, it happened that the business started working well. And as I'm telling you right now, the truth is, if I won't even ask you a question, which I don't know, that this is the question. I don't know if you can help me. And this is the question.
Go ahead.
Apart from having a partner who will be your sex mate, I'm in marriage now, not like flirting around.
I know. Who will be your mates? Your partner.
And yes, and a companion, and then somebody who will be your helpmate, who can assist you in the house. And then, apart from all those things, or who will be the mother of your children, apart from all those things, is there any other thing a woman can still do for a man? Because all these things are mentioned.
A woman, of course.
Did I really need a child?
Of course, a woman still have a lot. A woman can still do a lot.
I can cook for myself. I can do anything for myself. And children is even like a body. So,
Emmanuel, you don't have to lose hope. See, one thing with love is that apart from the companionship, right? If you have a good woman, Emmanuel, it will help you to go a long way in your life. The woman is supposed to be your support system. So in as much as you've tried once, you tried twice, you weren't lucky, I feel like the right person for you has not come. When the right person arrives, Emmanuel, you are so going to be singing Hosanna every day, because you will know that this is the right person. And now getting the right person is first, you not showing this person your capabilities, your weak points. You have to keep it a little bit and unleash them gradually. Now, I am always not in support of relationships starting PM, and the next thing you begin to carry burden, you begin to carry financial burden. Let the relationship grow. So yes, there is a lot a woman can still give to you.
But what I'm saying is, ever since then till now, if I see any lady and I approach the lady, but I don't believe in flirting. My faith does not permit that. I'm just careful. I'm not that kind of person. If I see a lady and I approach a lady, in the next 1 hour, there's this dislike that comes, even when the lady is not doing anything.
That is because the dislikes come, Emmanuel. That dislike that is coming, right? That hatred that is emanating from nowhere is because you have refused to let go of the past hurts. So even when you are in the present friendship, each time you think about how hurt you were by this is a same woman, like same-sex woman, right? Same woman. It hurts you. So you keep transferring that anger, that aggression, that resentment. That is why you feel like that. So Emmanuel, what I'm just going to say to you is keep listening. On the course of this show, I am definitely going to make sure I get you hooked up over the time. So just keep listening. Hello. Hello. All right, so the story with my caller Emmanuel right there. Emmanuel, you don't have to lose hope because you've gone once, twice, and you were disappointed. It's normal. I mean, one thing with life is that when you come into this friendship or relationship, like you're not expecting too much, then the too much will begin to fall in place. But when you come expecting too much from the beginning of the friendship or the relationship, you might just get disappointed. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. What is your name?
My name is Prince, coming from Suleja.
Your name is Dan?
Prince.
Okay, Prince from Suleja. Please talk to me. Let me get your reaction on the story.
Yeah, this is my first time listening to this program.
Okay.
I was really impressed when I heard the story as well. But this story actually has happened to one of my good friends who happens to be my best friend.
Okay.
When we were and the only thing there was that her parents never stood for her. Even before that, her parents have to take her away. Then her parents also came in the sense and understand that this lady was supposed to have this care and love for her parents.
Yes.
She needed the support from her parents. But then the parents never gave her any, even they thought she has done the worst thing, even when her parents was, let me just put it in the way of
I can imagine.
Yes, they came from their father. Her father is a pastor. He's not supposed to do this. But the only thing there is that mistake has been done. What is needed today is just to help, give a helping hand. And to God be the glory. Whatever she is now, she's very proud of my family for the help they give her. Now coming to you yourself, like I had this kind of saying something.
Yes.
It's not, Emmanuel was actually doing, like you corrected, you told him something, yes. The reason why he could not say the right stuff is because he's actually looking at that part that has hurt him most. Because anytime the right person or this longer or this kind of person, there are many girls out there. Like, let me say, there are many people out there.
Yeah, there are still good people, irrespective of you have bad experience with one person. Doesn't mean that every apple is bad, Yes, so.
So because even we, the human beings, even me myself, I might be a bad person to someone else just because of the way I behave myself. That is the same way many girls out there would love their fellow man by their choice. Many girls would have a guy who is going to church, doing this, or another guy would be I need a guy that is always go out and flex and this and that. So they are still right people. So please, I want to say encourage you and tell you that we men, yes, like you said before, you said the strength of the human cannot conquer the strength of the man. But yes, I believe that women also have a strong power in the sense of protecting themselves and even fighting for themselves.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any change between a man. If definitely you were being taught or you were being lectured about this stuff, definitely you would have won this man by not going to the house with him. I was first of all. You would have even stopped being the stubborn girl of saying, if you're not taking me to the church, then forget it. Because you would have known his listening. But once again, I still encourage you for bringing out this lesson. Everyone out there is listening. I'm very happy for this kind of program, and this is my first one, and I'll continue listening to the program.
Thank you so much.
And God will also bless you with a man who will love you and your son who is in the university. And I want to tell him one thing. One thing about this is that the same way you also went through of having this your son, or the same way I went through. That was what my mom also did when I was like that. I'm thinking now because when I look at it then when my mom was telling me that this man I called my father, he loved me so much I never knew he was my dad. But at the time my mom told me that this man is actually not your real father. This is him, the man who got me, but this is how it goes. I was like, but he never still give up on me. He still continue loving me. That was the same thing you have also been with. I pray that this young man, this boy, or whoever he is, he's a boy, right?
Yeah, he's a boy.
Yeah. I pray he will continue to love you and also protect you, even if you don't see that right man. He's your husband.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. I really appreciate your participation. So, you know, for someone who is just joining, this is Relationship Saga. And of course, Relationship Saga is coming live to you from Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. And this is its first time on radio. And we are talking about the story of Rachel's life, and that is me. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for calling on the show. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm calling from Lube.
What is your name, please?
Okay, my name is Michael.
UK.
Yes.
Okay, talk to me. Thank you.
Yeah, today is my first time hearing your story, and I felt so touched. I almost not able to listen because I also experienced kind of a hurtful relationship. But what I just want to say concerning your experience is there are so many young ladies that are out there that are teenager ones who have actually experienced what they experienced, and God has been on their side. Life has they've also gotten back out of their sky. And the other thing I have to say is that being a teenager, most times our parents can be overprotective. They forget to teach you the right things, even sometimes because of their being their disciplinary action. They are so strict to the extent that it has a negative impact in the life of these children. Because I came out from a home where I was trained by my father, and I have a stepmother. Even when I don't do wrong as a teenager, they will tell me, "Oh, you are sitting around, you are doing this," and I was still a virgin. Even when I expressed in my message, I was insulted. Saying, "Oh, you started feeling men. That is why you saw your message at the age of 12." You know, this has been a psychological trauma, and I decided not to have a relationship when I got to 200 level. But there is this young lady, two ladies who had a broken home. Their parents were no longer together, and two of them, because they were living in our house, they had a child at a teenage. You know, sometimes a broken home can lead to that, and sometimes protection from our parents will also lead to that. You know, parents, they will so much love us that they will feel because they are being protected is a sign of love, but that is not the case. So, you know, their parents there, I hope they are listening to this, that being too over-disciplined is not the way out to train a child, especially a girl child. A girl child needs to be tutored. A girl child needs to be educated, you know, all round. You need to allow them express themselves, because when you are too overprotected, sometimes you become stubborn. That's the truth. You know, they tend to see that you are stubborn. When parents are too overprotective, they will beat you here and there. Even when you are not wrong, they will complain, they will do this. You tend to be stubborn as a child. So I have come to understand that to train a girl child is not just to be overprotective. Show them love, let them express themselves. Ask them what friends you have. You know, the male friend you have, because you know at school you see a lot of things happening. Even young boys, you know, they date each other in secondary school, in primary school. They already know about sex. So it is good for parents to educate their girl child.
Thank you so much.
In all aspects, especially the opposite sex.
Thank you, UK.
That's very important.
Thank
and then
you.
Secondly, I also wanted to know that what you thought is a child that you have is making you not to have a home yet. Do you know that child? There's someone there out there that is also looking for that child. That child is a blessing already for you. So I don't want you to see that when you share your story, that it's like you're opening your scar. It's a time for you to be strong and to make other people learn from what you are sharing to the world. Like I said, this is my first time listening to you. That child is a gift for you. Your parents are a gift for you.
Thank you.
Let me let you know that you have a journey where you are changing the world positively. And in a situation where you are changing the world positively, that's what makes God happy with you. Now
Thank
you are
you.
sharing your story. I'm learning from you. The whole world is listening to you. Don't think people don't listen to you. Today is my first time I don't listen to FM. Today is just my first time.
Oh, wow.
I want to
Okay. Thank
appreciate
you.
what you do. I want
Thank
to
you, ma'am.
appreciate you that you should keep on.
Thank you. My
Keep on
time
with
is
it.
up. Thank you so much, UK. I appreciate you. I'm sorry, but my time is up, and right now we will have to wrap up. Then, but before I do that, I have a message here on WhatsApp. It says, "God, Holy Ray, I can imagine what you went through. Your story is so touching. I'm in tears. Please, guys, don't make me cry. All right, I'm trying to stay strong and try to stay holy. Yeah, I said your son in the university wrapping up. Oh my God, you are a superhero, mom. God will keep you for him, and God will keep him for you. Amen." I learned a lot from your story tonight. One thing I want you to know is that it wasn't your fault that day happened. You were young, but yet strong and brave, that you tried to struggle your way out, and in as much as you did not mention that regret that day. Most persons will. But then, please don't, because you see that your son will make you proud. He already making you proud. He will wipe your tears, Holy Ray, and I believe there is a good man out there for you who will love you for you, irrespective of your past. Stay strong. Thank you so much. And of course, that is from, is this Casey or Favor? Okay, thank you so much. I didn't get your name on the story, but it's okay. I want to thank you for being part of the story, and I'm so happy that my story was able to touch you. But guys, if you can hear from my voice, I am trying so strong to stay like the good girl that I am and not to share a tear, because I can be so emotional sometimes, and that is not good for me because I am the host of this show. Anyways, Relationship Saga is open for sponsorship. It's wide open for sponsorship. You want to be part of the show, of course, don't forget that you can send SMS to the office number, which is 090-9705-4450. Send SMS there with your intention. I will get your number from there, and then we'll keep up the conversation. And of course, don't forget that you can follow me on all social media handles, talking about TikTok, IG, Facebook. The name there is relationship_saga. On TikTok, relationship_saga. On Instagram, relationship_saga. And you can follow me on all social media handles at Holy Ray. But Facebook, Rachel Aben. And don't forget to also rush right now to Eagles FM at Eagles FM Abuja. And of course, right there you will get the full episode of today's story. And of course, I still have a lot coming your way. Every Saturday we're going to be doing this. For now, it's Holy Ray's story. It might be your story tomorrow. Like I said, if you want to be part of the show, you want to be anonymous, it's okay. The important thing is that this show is not going to be a show where we go to get story from anywhere. It's going to be real life story. We'll talk about it. Video and educate people. I have learned a lot from you today. For the few I have shared with you, I learned that there is need for parents not to be over-disciplined with their children, especially with the girl child, because over-discipline was one of the things that got me scared and wanted to leave home. Irrespective of what mommy was saying, I just want to leave home. And also, I also learned that there is need for parents to educate a girl child, a boy child, educate them, especially let's give them sex education on time. And of course, this is where I'll get to draw the curtain on the show, Relationship Saga, until I come your way again next week Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. here on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you for hearing me out, and thanks for your support. I appreciate. Until Saturday, bye for now.
Why would he expect me to make all the sacrifices?
She doesn't seem to get that I really love her.